What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Fernando Martinez versus Jerwin Ancajas 2, and this is going to be a 12-rounder for the IBF Super-Flyweight World Championship, and this fight is going to be Saturday, October 8th, from the Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California, and this fight is going to be broadcasted on Showtime. And to gain both fighters' resumes, Fernando Martinez, fighting out of Argentina, holds a record of 14 wins with no defeats and 8 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 6 by BoxRec in the Super Flyweight division, and he's also the current IBF Super Flyweight World Champion. And to list some of his best victories, he has a knockout win over Athenkosi Duenzweni, and he also has a unanimous decision victory over Jerwin Ancajas in their first fight, and that's definitely his best win by far. And to gain his opponent's resume, Jerwin Ancajas holds a record of 33 wins with 2 defeats and 2 draws, with 22 wins coming by way of knockout. He's fighting out of the Philippines, and he's currently ranked number 10 by BoxRec in the Super Flyweight division. But he's also the former IBF Super Flyweight World Champion, as he held that world title for years, defending it 9 times. He tried to get his 10th defense, 10th successful defense against Fernando Martinez, but obviously Martinez spoiled that party. But to list Ancajas' losses and draws, he has a majority decision defeat years ago against Mark Anthony Giraldo, and obviously that unanimous decision defeat to Fernando Martinez in their first fight. But to list both of his draws, he has a split decision draw against Alexandro Santiago, and he also has a technical draw against Irvin Llano. But to list some of his best victories, or he does have a technical draw years ago against Irvin Llano. I pronounced his name incorrectly at first, but to list some of his best victories, he does have a unanimous decision victory over McJoe Arroyo. He has a knockout win over Teru Kinoshita. He also has a knockout win over Jamie Conlon. He has a knockout win over Israel Gonzalez, a unanimous decision victory over Jonas Sultan, a knockout win over Miguel Gonzalez, and he also has a unanimous decision victory over Jonathan Rodriguez. So in my opinion, this fight is a very, very interesting rematch. It's a very good rematch. Their first fight was very solid, very fun to watch, but I think it's going to swing in the same way as the first fight did. Although it was very, very fun to watch, both fighters were trading a lot. I just thought that almost every single round, Martinez was just outworking Ancajas. I'm pretty sure I scored the first fight 118 to 110 in favor of 110 in favor of Fernando Martinez. Martinez just simply outworked Ancajas in almost every single round, was throwing the bigger and better shots coming forward, really just being the dictator of the pace in the fight, and I mean that's the very reason why he did win it. However, for Jerwin Ancajas, I mean, he wasn't really doing as much as Martinez, which is why he lost. It was still a very fun fight, like I said, but Martinez was just doing far more than Ancajas, and I think that's going to be very, very similar in this fight. Both these guys obviously are in the lighter weight classes, very small fighters, and that equates usually nowadays to much better fights. Like we saw between Hector Flores and Sivanathi Nalchinga. They were at 108 pounds or 107 pounds. They had a very, very good fight. And even with the other super flyweights in Juan Francisco Estrada and Chocolatito in their second fight, that was a phenomenal fight. I mean, all these lighter weight fights are in the most recent future are just some excellent fights. And another one of the excellent fights at this weight was when Jerwin Ancajas fought Jonathan Rodriguez. That was a very, very good fight as well. I mean, really at this weight and around there, I mean, there's just been so many excellent fights. And even their first fight, despite, as I mentioned before, despite it being a pretty dominant win and clear win for Martinez, it was still a very, very fun fight to watch as both fighters were just trading in the center of the ring. But like I said, I think in this fight, just like the last one, I think that Martinez will be landing the bigger and better shots in almost every single round and get the job done. And I think this fight will go the distance, just like the first one. I don't really think that Martinez is going to stop Ancajas. I think Ancajas has a tremendous chin, so I don't think that Martinez has much of a chance to stop him. But I do think that he does have a great chance of winning this fight, and I think that's what will happen. So I really think that throughout this entire fight. Like, I don't think this fight is going to be fought in two halves or fought in quarters, wherever, like late, early, mid, wherever. I think this fight will be fought very similar, just like the first fight throughout. I don't really think these guys are going to be changing up much with their style, because their style is so compact where they come forward and throw shots. I don't think either of them is going to change that. So I think that Martinez will be coming forward, and Ancajas will try and come forward with his own shots, but I think that Martinez will be backing up Ancajas to the ropes, just like the first fight, trying to break him down in almost every single round. He'll be just throwing a lot of big shots in the first half, and Ancajas will try and come back with his own, just like the first, but I don't think that it will lead to too much success for him. So I think that after 6 rounds, like the first fight, it could be like 59-55 for Martinez, like somewhere around there, with Ancajas only edging like 1 round, maybe 2 rounds at 58-56. It could be somewhere around there. But then in the second half of the fight, I mean, the thing is, when there's a fight that's fought like this, like there's a lot of rounds that could go up in the air. It could go either way because both of them are swinging, landing, missing, whatever. But I mean, still, I think that it'll be pretty clear for Martinez to get yet another win over Ancajas. But like I said, in the second half, I think that Jerwin Ancajas, he might start to pick it up a bit more, as in he might win a few of those rounds, but I still think that really in the deep late rounds, like from rounds 9 to rounds 12, I think that Martinez really has those rounds locked in. I think he'll win those rounds pretty clearly. I think he'll try and finish very strong, just like he did in the first fight. So I think those rounds are clear for Martinez. The middle rounds could be a toss-up. Martinez might edge some of them, and Ancajas might edge some of them. But the thing is, really, I can't really describe this fight like in depth. Like, this fighter might win this round because of this or that. I mean, really, I can't, because both these guys, I think, will fight with the exact same style as they did in their first fight, which was just trying to outwork each other with the bigger and better combinations throughout. And I think that that's what will happen, obviously. And I think that in the first half, Martinez will edge it, but then in those like sort of middle rounds at the start of the second half, like 7 and 8, maybe round 6. I know I mentioned that the first half will be dictated by Martinez, but round 6, like 7 and 8, could go more in favor of Ancajas, somewhere around there, and those later rounds I think will be more in favor of Martinez. But yeah, I mean, as you could tell, I think this fight will go the distance, and being that a lot of these rounds could be pretty competitive to score, just like in the first fight, there was a lot of competitive rounds, but I thought they were very, very clear for Martinez. I think that the judges could come back with scorecards like 118 to 110, 117 to 111, and maybe 116 to 112. So around there, like at most, you could get 4 rounds. I think that's what will happen for Ancajas, and just like the first fight, I think he might win like 2 rounds, somewhere around there, but really 3. I think that Ancajas will probably win 3 rounds in this fight, but I think that the judges obviously will give either Ancajas 4 rounds, 3 rounds, or 2 rounds to his credit. So, I mean, if you're predicting this fight, comment down below who you think is going to win, and by what method of victory, and what you think could be next for either man. So, overall, I believe that Fernando Martinez will yet again get a unanimous decision victory over Jerwin Ancajas, and I think that the result will be very, very similar, as I think that the judges will score this bout 118 to 110, 117 to 111, and 116 to 112, all in favor of Fernando Martinez to successfully defend his IBF Super-Flyweight World title for the very first time. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.